For weeks, fans had been eagerly following the production of Demet Özdemir's highly anticipated new TV series. The actress, known for her professionalism and charm, had been sharing behind-the-scenes smiles, photos from set, and hints of a new, more mature role that promised to surprise everyone. Everything seemed perfect, until this week, when news broke that chaos had erupted during filming. According to several insiders, what started as a simple creative disagreement suddenly turned into a full-blown crisis that shook the entire production. Cameras stopped rolling, crew members were asked to leave the set, and Demet herself reportedly walked off during a tense exchange with one of the directors. Within hours, the story hit every entertainment outlet, a major crisis on the set of Demet Özdemir's new series. At first, no one believed it. Demet has built a reputation for being one of the most disciplined and positive actresses in Turkish television. She's known for her patience, kindness, and ability to handle even the most stressful situations with grace. So what could have possibly gone wrong? One crew member later told a magazine, that day was different. The atmosphere was heavy from the morning. You could feel something was off. According to their account, tensions had been building for days over a specific scene that Demet reportedly felt was written in a way that misrepresented her character. She wanted it to feel authentic, the source continued. She didn't want her role to come across as shallow or sensational. She argued that the scene didn't fit the emotional truth of the story. Normally, discussions like this are handled quietly between actor and director. But this time, things escalated. Several people on set confirmed that voices were raised, and at one point, Demet simply put down her script and walked away, asking for a break. Filming was paused immediately, and the production team reportedly called an emergency meeting. The media caught wind of the story within hours. Paparazzi stationed outside the set saw Demet leaving early that evening, visibly emotional but composed. Photos of her getting into a car with her assistant quickly went viral, with headlines like "Demet Özdemir leaves set amid tension," flooding Twitter and Instagram. Fans were torn between worry and curiosity. What could have possibly upset her enough to leave mid-shoot? The next morning, more details began to surface. According to a second insider, the disagreement was not only about the scene, but also about the way the production team was managing the schedule. The workload has been insane, they said. Long shooting days, last-minute script changes, and no breaks. Demet's been giving everything to this project, but at some point, she hit her limit. Other sources hinted that the issue wasn't purely professional. Apparently, one of her co-stars had also clashed with the director earlier that week over a similar issue. Some tabloids began suggesting that the on-set energy had been tense for days and that Demet had simply been caught in the middle. One headline even read, "Demet Özdemir stuck between co-star and director drama." As the rumors spread, fans rushed to defend her. "She's always been professional," one fan tweeted. "If Demet reacted like that, then something serious must have happened." Another wrote, "Don't believe everything the media says. She deserves respect for standing up for herself." The production company, realizing the story was growing out of control, finally released an official statement 2 days later. They acknowledged that there had been a creative discussion but denied reports of a breakdown or walkout. "The team is fully united and continues to work with great dedication," the statement read. "We ask for understanding as creative processes can sometimes be intense." But not everyone bought it. Photos continued to circulate online showing Demet looking visibly upset during breaks. In one shot, she's seen sitting alone with her phone, appearing deep in thought. Fans flooded her comment sections with supportive messages like, "Stay strong, Queen," and "We know your worth." Despite the drama, Demet returned to set 2 days later. Paparazzi caught her walking in with a determined expression, holding her script and a coffee cup. When reporters shouted questions about the alleged crisis, she smiled softly and said, "Every set has its challenges. We're professionals, we move forward." It was a short, diplomatic answer, but it said enough. She wasn't denying the tension, but she wasn't fueling it either. Behind the scenes, however, more whispers kept coming. Some claimed that the root of the issue was actually a difference in vision between Demet and the creative team. She reportedly wanted her character to be more emotionally complex, while the writers were pushing for more commercial drama. "She doesn't want to do something meaningless," said another source. "She's at a stage in her career where quality matters more than anything." That, in many ways, fits perfectly with who Demet Özdemir has become. Over the years, she's transformed from a romantic comedy favorite into one of Turkey's most respected dramatic actresses. She's selective about her roles, cautious about her image, and vocal about wanting to portray strong, realistic women. So when faced with something that didn't align with her values, it's no surprise she spoke up, even if it caused friction. Fans admired her even more for it. On social media, hashtags like #WeSupportDemetÖzdemir and #RespectForDemet began trending. People praised her for prioritizing authenticity over convenience. "This is why she's different," one fan wrote. "She doesn't just act, she feels." Meanwhile, entertainment analysts pointed out that incidents like this often happen in the industry but rarely become public. "It's only news because it's Demet," one critic noted. "She's a household name, so even a normal disagreement gets magnified." Still, some insiders believe this crisis may actually help her career. "Sometimes standing up for yourself earns you more respect in the long run," a producer commented. "Directors know she's serious about her craft. That makes her valuable." By the end of the week, filming resumed smoothly. Reports from the set suggested that the mood had lightened and that both Demet and the team had found a compromise regarding the disputed scene. One crew member said, "She handled it with grace. She's strong, but she's also fair. Everyone respects her for that." When asked by journalists later if everything was resolved, Demet simply said, "We're working hard, and I'm proud of what we're creating." Her calm, collected response instantly diffused the remaining tension. It was classic Demet, elegant under pressure, professional even in chaos. But the story didn't die completely. Weeks later, interviews with anonymous crew members continued to emerge. One of them claimed that the day of the crisis had been a turning point for the entire production. "It made everyone realize how much she cares about this project," they said. "Her passion set the tone. After that, everyone stepped up." And maybe that's what makes Demet Özdemir who she is, not just an actress, but a leader. Her ability to demand quality while staying grounded has earned her a rare kind of respect in the entertainment world. By the time the show finally wrapped filming, even the tabloids had shifted their tone. What started as crisis on set headlines turned into praise for her professionalism. "Demet Özdemir overcomes on-set tension like a true star," one Italian magazine wrote. Another called her a symbol of strength in the face of chaos. When the series finally premiered, fans noticed something remarkable. The very scene that had reportedly caused the dispute turned out to be one of the most powerful moments in the entire show. Raw, emotional, and unforgettable, it carried the weight of someone who had fought for authenticity and won. And maybe that's the real story behind the set crisis. It wasn't about ego or drama. It was about passion. About an actress who knows her worth and refuses to settle for less. About someone who would rather face conflict than compromise her art. So yes, there was a crisis. There were raised voices, tears, and tension. But there was also truth. And at the heart of it all stood Demet Özdemir, strong, fearless, and unapologetically herself. Because sometimes, behind the cameras and the headlines, that's what real artistry looks like.